In Sydney, many Chinese international students look for part-time jobs in cafes, restaurants, and retail stores. These jobs often seem to ask for one simple thing: good communication skills. But what does that really mean in practice, and who gets recognized as speaking in the right way? Australian research on international student employability shows that employers value not only English proficiency but also the ability to communicate effectively within the professional context. The same report argues that international students often need supporting understanding Australian workplace culture and in learning the requirements and expectations of Australian workplaces. To understand how these communication expectations shaped everyday work, we interviewed two Chinese international students in Sydney with experience in customer-facing service jobs.
Yeah, at first I thought good communication skills just meant being able to understand people and explain myself clearly. But once I actually started applying for jobs, I realized that what counts as good enough is actually pretty unclear. No one really tells you what that standard is, but you can kind of feel that there's a set of expectations behind it, and you are just supposed to know it. So even if people can understand my English, I'm still not sure whether it's the kind of good enough that employers are looking for.
This phenomenon occurs because communication in customer-facing work is governed by socially organized expectations. Rather than being clearly defined, these expectations operate as implicit norms that applicants are expected to recognize and align with. As Scherzer and Bauman suggest, communication in different social contexts is structured by shared understandings of how people should speak and interact. These norms do not need to be formally explained because they are already taken for granted within the social group. In this case, employers assume a particular way of speaking as the default, which makes the standard appear vague to those who are not familiar with. At the same time, these norms are connected to broader inequalities. As Mahbub argues, English functions as a gatekeeping tool within broader social semiotic structures. Keeping communication standards implicit allows them to selectively advantage those who already possesses valued ways of speaking, while placing others at a disadvantage. Therefore, the ambiguity around what counts as good communication is itself part of how access to opportunities is regulated, rather than simply a lack of clarity.
Yes, definitely. Like during busy hours, customers often speak very quickly, and sometimes there is so much noise that I cannot hear clearly the first time. What makes it stressful is that I cannot stop and think for too long, because there are other people waiting and the interaction has to keep moving. If I hesitate, I start to worry that the customer will think I do not understand, or that my manager will think I'm not good at the job. So the pressure is not only about English itself, but about having to process language, respond appropriately, and appear confident under time pressure.
Yeah, I think so. Customers usually expect you to be quite friendly, maybe make a bit of small talk or sound more relaxed. But honestly, sometimes I don't even know what to say, especially if they talk really fast. So I just smile, say yeah, or no worries, and hope it's fine.
This response suggests that this challenge is not simply about speaking correct English. As Mahbub argues, a language-only approach is too narrow because it leaves backgrounded the wider systems through which meaning is produced and coordinated. He therefore shifts attention to social semiotic diversity, which includes not only language, but also genres, institutional expectations, and the full range of sensory and embodied practices through which meaning is made and acted upon. In service work, this becomes very visible. Communication is shaped by fast pace, background noise, customer flow, and the pressure to respond immediately, while also maintaining friendliness and confidence. As Peter points out, Communication norms are not fixed, but are constructed in interaction and made relevant in specific contexts. In this case, expectations like small talk, humor, and a relaxed tone are part of what counts as good communication. Mahbub also reminds us that the issue is not only whether people can speak, but whether they can act within systems that organize legitimacy and value. In customer-facing jobs, what is rewarded is a particular communicative style. This helps explain why Chinese international students may still be disadvantaged. The difficulty is not just linguistic ability, but meeting these socially and institutionally organized expectations.
In China, survey communication is more task-focused. As long as you do your job efficiently is enough. But in Australia, customers expect you to be friendly and make small talk. So I feel it's not just about language ability, but about different communication styles.
The interviewee also highlights a key difference in communication norms across the two contexts. In China, service interactions may be more task-oriented and focused on efficiency, whereas in Australia, they are often expected to include friendliness, small talk, humor, and emotional engagement. This suggests that different cultural contexts value different ways of speaking in everyday interaction. This can be understood through Ham's argument that communities differ in the number and variety of significant speech styles. In this case, the Chinese students' initial difficulty and later adaptation reflect not simply a difference in language proficiency, but a need to adjust to the communicative styles valued in the Australian service context, particularly the use of small talk and humor to build rapport with customers.
We found two cases of Chinese international students working part-time in Australia, whose experiences differed significantly.
I'll pay 20 cash and you can pay the rest on card.
Scare me. I was thinking you just give me 20.
Oh, 20 for this year?
No.
Yeah, I think
You
so.
wish.
Bargain. Bargain.
But it's already like
It is a bargain already,
so,
isn't it?
yeah.
Get a new phone next 6 months, I'm giving you mine. I'm paying $20.
Oh.
Yeah, $20? Yeah.
My manager will kill me.
Nah, she doesn't need to know.
This video demonstrates how a Chinese international student working part-time in a liquor store successfully interacts with teenagers. She communicates fluently, uses humor to ease tension, and handles unexpected situations effectively. Through this, she shows her adaptation to the Australian model of service work and meets the expectations shaped by dominant service norms in Sydney.
In contrast, this example shows a Chinese international student who struggles with a difficult customer in a cafe. When the situation becomes stressful and the customer turns aggressive, she finds it hard to stay calm and respond confidently. This shows how difficult it can be to meet these communication expectations in practice.
This project shows that communication in customer-facing work is not simply about language ability, but about meeting socially defined expectations of how a worker should sound. These expectations are often implicit, yet they shape who is recognized as employable and who is not. This reminds us that language is not neutral. It plays a role in structuring access to opportunities, often in ways that are not immediately visible. Recognizing this allows us to better understand the experiences of international students, not as individual shortcomings, but as part of a broader system of norms and expectations.